What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here, bringing you some more Series 13 battles with live commentary. Today we are continuing to use this team that I had used for my Little Root Lessons Draft League match. I had a lot of fun with it and I really wanted to give it a chance to shine. Also, want to make sure to try and use all of the mythicals at least once before the end of the season, so definitely look forward to that. And also, let me know if you want some Spike Myth Cup games. Definitely let me know in the comments below. I've been trying to get some games with Spike Myth, but I feel like every time I've played, it's not been up to the standard that I want, but I want to make sure that I address what my audience wants. But looking at my opponent's first team, right, it is Kyogre, Calyrex, Zacian, Yveltal, Regieleki, and Whimsicott. So I definitely want Yveltal Groudon. I think both of them have a lot of potential. I also really want Lunala here. I think speed control is going to be really important, so I really like Lunala Zacian with a Yveltal and a Groudon in the back. I think that gives me the most options to play with. So that's kind of what I'm going to go for. And as we're getting into this, definitely make sure to subscribe. We are working our way towards 1 billion subscribers, and we really can't get there without you. So every little bit helps, right? Like we're slowly getting closer, right? And we definitely have the ability to be the first channel to get 1 billion. But yeah, let's kind of just see what my opponent has and go from there, as we're going to see on lead Regieleki Calyrex. So this is not ideal for Lunala, right? Lunala obviously not going to like taking an Astral Barrage and a Max Darkness, because that's going to break my Shadow Shield. So we can switch into, I'm hoping that the Regieleki is Specs. I also, oh god, I have no bulk on my Zacian, so I actually do not know. I do not know if we can take a Specs Astral Barrage at -1. It's going to be very, very close. I do expect a Max Darkness to break Lunala's Shadow Shield and Astral Barrage. If we had Wide Guard, you know, that would be really nice, but we don't. Also, look at Lunala's Shiny. I think it is objectively like one of the best shinies of all time. And I wish that they'd done something similar with Solgaleo, right? Like the red on Solgaleo is just not appealing. Whereas here it is. So we're going to be able to send out our Yveltal, and I do very much expect to see a max coming out from my opponent's Regieleki. We could see a potential double, as we're just going to see a straight Electro Web. So interesting for us, as we should see an Astral Barrage come out into both slots. We should be in a position to get the knockout, as we're just going to see a straight Will-O-Wisp. So really not what I was expecting at all, right? I was hoping to be able, we could have actually set up a Trick Room fairly easily, and we really gave up that opportunity. But that's fine, right? It's fine. We're going to get good damage onto this Calyrex. I think we're in a position where we can go for a Snarl and just switch into Groudon. So let's just go for the Snarl here. We do have the Assault Vest to help tank some of the hits, hopefully, and then we can bring out our Groudon here. It is a little bit awkward in the fact that we are letting them have a free switch into their Kyogre. Imagine if we had set up a Trick Room, we would have been in fantastic shape. As we're going to see the Calyrex withdraw here. If this is Kyogre, that's actually really good for us. It is going to be a Zacian of their own, which is a little bit unfortunate, right? Because of the fact that we are going for a Snarl, and that's obviously not going to do a lot, as we will be able to bring out our Groudon. But in a more positive note, right, like we do have a very favorable matchup into both of these Pokemon. We can set up some Quake Boosts, and if we get our Yveltal knocked out, we do have the ability to pivot pretty freely into our Lunala. So nothing on my opponent's team can take a Max Quake. So that's going to be really good for us, right? We are not worried about that Regieleki at all, as we will at least get a nice little Snarl off, you know, doing some actual big damage onto the Regieleki. I do expect a switch out here, and so I'm fine to go for another Snarl just to put on some pressure with Regieleki, and then go for a Precipice Blades, or a Max Quake actually, onto the Zacian slot, right? Nothing is going to want to switch into that. It's either a severely weakened Calyrex, or I can only imagine a Kyogre. And so, right, we can keep going for Snarl to put on more pressure, right, to say, hey, if you're going to bring out your Kyogre, it's going to go down to -1, and we're going to get a special defense boost, but we're seeing no switch, actually. So maybe they, I was going to say maybe they don't have Kyogre, but I feel like you definitely want to bring it to this matchup, especially considering everything else that my opponent has, which I actually forget, but that's a whole different story. Um, so let's see what they're gonna go for. We're gonna see a wild charge, so revealed to be a mixed Regieleki. Yveltal going to go down here, but we are going to get some really good damage out onto this Zacian, right? As they are going to go down to our max Quake. We will have to take an unfortunate Behemoth Blade, but I'm willing to make that trade, as we can now probably switch back into that did a lot. It's going to trigger our Citrus Berry, so that's nice, right? We should be able to survive another one pretty comfortably, and I'm more than happy to trade a Yveltal for a Zacian. I think it's fine at this point to bring out our Lunala, right? We can go for a Trick Room. We can go for a Trick Room, or we can go for a Quake. We can go for a Quake and a Protect, and then go for a Trick Room. I think that that's sort of our best bet here. We've got confirmation that the Regieleki, right, is not choiced, as we saw it switch attacks. The mix is very interesting. I think it's fine that we lost the Yveltal there, as we are going to see that Kyogre is going to come out here. And so we are at +1 special defense. I do want to still go for the Trick Room in the event that what's it called? In the event that this Kyogre you know, chooses to target down the Lunala. It's very possible that you want to just double up into my Lunala slot. So I'm not going to go for Protect. I am going to go for a Max Quake. We are a little bit lower than I would like to have been, right? We are almost at half. So even at +1, I don't know if we can survive a Max Quake, as we're going to see a very obvious Max. This should definitely be the Kyogre. It could also actually be the Regieleki, right? Trying to go for a Max Darkness to lower some special defense, as it is just going to be that Whale. So in a positive note, right, we're either going to get Trick Room or our fast Zacian. It's fine. Or we're going to get a solid boost off. Let's see. We're going to see the Electro Web come out. So going into that Regieleki, or into the Lunala, breaking its Shadow Shield. If Groudon is faster than the Kyogre, we are in a very good position, right? Getting a big Quake off, which it looks like we will be able to do. So that's going to be huge, right? Doing big damage onto, not big damage, but doing pretty decent damage onto this Kyogre, and letting us set up, and also making our Lunala slower than them is going to be huge, and giving us a nice special defense boost. So now we are at +2. That Max Geyser going into the Groudon, hoping we survive. Survey says we don't. That's always terrible to see. Very, very bad here. We don't like that. Okay, it is Life Orb Kyogre, so that makes a little bit more sense, as we are now forced to bring out our Groudon. I mean, not our Groudon, our Burn Zacian, which, you know, is really not having a good day. And the question now is, we can I think we have to Meteor Beam into, the Kyogre, and go for a Protect, then hope that a Moongeist Beam will KO it and let us KO the Regieleki. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna Meteor Beam onto this Kyogre and go for a Protect with the Zacian, just with the idea that this should put us in range of getting a knockout with the Moongeist Beam, and then we can go for a knockout onto the Regieleki, and hopefully have enough Trick Room turns that we can play around with to KO this Calyrex, right? Like we have to get the Calyrex into a position where we can deal damage to it. So we're going to go for the Protect here. Lunala does luckily have a +1 in special defense, which I'm really hoping will play a big role, as you know, it is also very obvious that we protected with the Zacian, so we could actually see a potential double up onto the Lunala, but I think I have to make this play, as good damage onto the Kyogre. I think let's see where that Max Geyser is going. I need it to go into my Kyogre, or it's going into the Lunala, so unfortunate there. The question now is, where is the Regieleki going? Is it going to be that double up that I was so afraid of? And it looks like it is. So my opponent making a really big read here that pays off, recognizing, hey, Zacian is not a threat at this point, and we definitely cannot come back from it at this point, right? You still have a turn of a Max Kyogre in the rain, and you're going to move first. So unfortunate. We're not going to be able to take this one. I think even if we had attacked with Zacian this turn, I don't think we would have gotten. I mean, okay, we could have Meteor Beamed. We Meteor Beamed into the Regieleki. If we had Meteor Beamed into the Regieleki and attacked into the Kyogre with Zacian, but like that requires a lot of knowledge that we didn't necessarily have. So I don't feel bad for not making that play, just because it was a very hard read to make. So it's always, you know, a little bit unfortunate to lose the first one of the new season, but it is what it is, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and move to the next one. All right, battle number 2, and it is hard Trick Room. It is Calyrex, Palkia, Reshiram, Magearna, Incineroar, and an Amoonguss. So a lot of different scary things for sure. I really like what Lunala is tempting here. I think you have to lead the Amoonguss. I could do Lunala Venusaur in all honesty. I think that covers both potential Trick Room options, right? If you bring out Amoonguss and Trick Room, I can use Venusaur. If you go with Incineroar, I have the Meteor Beam option, and I can max the Venusaur. So I think this is our best bet. We can bring Groudon. We don't need Groudon. Groudon feels pretty useless here. Yveltal, I think, feels really good, and then Zacian as well. We are a little bit, I mean, like, what, Venusaur and Yveltal don't really like Calyrex, but, you know, we do have options, right? We do have access to that foul play. I think, though, the most important thing is going to be preventing this Trick Room from going up, and this definitely feels like the best sort of way of dealing with that, right? We can go for, okay, so we're going to see an Incin. Incin Reshiram is, all right, we're seeing, okay, no, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to Meteor Beam into the Incin, and we're going to go for a Sleep Powder. We're going to go for a Meteor Beam here, and we're going to go for a Sleep Powder onto this Reshiram, right? We're saying, hey, if you want to go for a Fake Out, you go for a Fake Out. I can't really stop you there. But we're going to try and do our best. We're going to give it a Scout's try. I probably should have gone for, no, I think this makes the most sense, because that way, if we get to +1, right, we do have that ability to just fire off Big Max Rock Balls. Also, I'm fine to potentially sacrifice Venusaur if you double up into it, only because of the fact that, right, that gives us a free switch in into the Yveltal, which is going to be in an incredible position, especially if we can fire off things like a Max Darkness and then go for a subsequent attack with Lunala, as the Meteor Beam going to come out here. So getting a free switch in into into my Yveltal would actually be really good for me, especially, like I said, we can go for like a Max Darkness followed by a Moongeist Beam or something else, as we will connect this Meteor Beam onto this Incineroar, so that should be going down. So bye bye Incineroar. We are at a comfortable plus. Oh, all right, let's think about this. We lost our Venusaur. We said that was good. We are faster than their Reshiram with our Yveltal. We can bring, with our Lunala. So that means we're faster with our Yveltal, which means we can go for a Snarl. We can go for a Snarl, and we can go for a Rockfall onto, we can go for a Rockfall onto the Reshiram. Or we can just Moongeist Beam. I'm going to Moongeist Beam for now. I don't necessarily want to commit my max to Lunala quite yet. We're going to fire off a big Snarl, getting rid of that Incineroar, which is nice for us. We do get a nice special attack drop. So I think this is actually better for us that the Incin was Sash, right? Because it didn't do much, and it made it so that we are in a much better position of just dealing damage, as we're going to see the Quake coming out. So this is definitely going into the Lunala, trying to mitigate that special attack boost. But you see we're just like not taking any damage as a combination of the Shadow Shield as well as the Snarl, and this is the second turn of their max. So this is a really good scenario for us, right? If you want to bring out something like a Calyrex, we have the ability to foul play and Moongeist Beam. We can also okay, so it's gonna be Palkia here. Palkia is fine, right? You have to go for Trick Room. I'm fine actually at this point to max Phantasm into the Palkia, as well as just keep spamming Snarl. I don't think that there is really a reason for me to go for anything else with this Yveltal. It's just here to put on pressure, which I think it really is going to be primed to do, right? And so Lunala is, what do we have in the back? We have Zacian, I think. I'm assuming we have Zacian. If we have Zacian, we're really primed for success. Even if my opponent has a Calyrex in the back, I think we should be fine to sacrifice Yveltal, right? And so getting these drops onto your max and saying, hey, your max is not doing anything, right? Like this is -2 on Yveltal. That's really good damage onto Palkia as well. So we are loving this. Lunala, okay, so we're gonna get hit with a spatial rend, right? So that's a little bit unfortunate with the snarls, but more importantly, right, this means that you are not going for a trick room, and so we are just going to be able to get rid of this Palkia. We still have to deal with the Reshiram, right? We're not out of the woods yet. Reshiram is very, very scary, and so we'll see here, right? We're gonna take a max Wormwind, totally fine with me. Neither of my Pokemon are dragons or physical attackers, so that's gonna be good. It doesn't affect foul play, so even if you have Calyrex in the back, right, we still are primed to hit that foul play and try and win from there. So let's see what they bring out. I do expect it to potentially be Calyrex. If it's Magearna, that's a little bit of an issue, because you can Magearna's not that big of an issue actually. Right, yeah, Magearna should not be an issue at all. We just have the ability to go for a max Phantasm, and then we can bring out Zacian and just start clicking Sword onto things, because we are also getting a defense drop, right? And so that's going to be really good, as we will see the Calyrex come out here, and I'm fine to double up into the Calyrex slot. Like Reshiram at this point is not a threat at all. It is at -2 special attack. Its max is over, and I very much would like to fire off a Phantasm onto this Calyrex and go for a foul play. Yeah, we can go for a foul play. A foul play and a Phantasm is going to definitely be a knockout, especially because we are at +1. And so, yeah, this Reshiram is also not scary at all. We're completely dropping its defense. And so we are primed to just wipe it out pretty easily, as we're just going to actually one-shot the Calyrex with the foul play. Not what I was expecting, but definitely, something I'm willing to take. And let's just see how much this +1 Phantasm does. I cannot see this Reshiram, if it does survive. Okay, so it is going to survive, but like what is the Reshiram really going to do, right? It is going to be at I think -3 defense at this point, and we have an ability just to bring out our Zacian and clean things up, and I think we still have a turn of max, so yeah, it's even fine, right? We can click Phantasm again. We can go for a Snarl. I think it's just probably our best bet. I think foul play might be better, given the defense. I think I'm pretty sure it's Assault Vest at this point, so foul play with -3 defense probably would have hit a lot harder than a Assault Vest Reshiram at +1, but it's fine. We will just be able to clean things up pretty nicely with Lunala. So overall, I think a really solid battle to make up for the last one, and also really highlight how kind of volatile this series is. You never really know the way a battle is going to go, and it's just very surprising. So overall, a really solid second battle, and let's just keep rocking and rolling and play one more. All right, last battle of the day, and we've got quite a powerful one, right? We're seeing Magearna, Zacian, Magearna, Zacian, Yveltal, Landorus, Regidrago, and a Grimmsnarl. So I definitely want my Grimmsnarl here. I think it is just in a very, very good position. The big question, though, is how do we beat that Landorus? I'm going to do Grimmsnarl, Zacian. I don't like that. Could do this. I'm wondering if it's worth just going, if it's worth just the Vine Lash chip. No, we can't even realistically max the Venusaur, because we need to max Groudon for Magearna. All right, we're gonna turn on my fan, and we're gonna do my go-to strategy of never mind. I was gonna say we paralyze everything and we hope it works. That's not gonna fly here. We can put stuff to sleep though. Let's do that. I'm gonna go for a light screen. I'm gonna try and sleep powder the Yveltal. Why? Because it's kind of funny. If you airstream, you could airstream and Spirit Break into my Grimmsnarl. That is definitely an option, but this way we can preserve our max for later, right? And we're essentially pinning ourselves and forcing it to be Groudon. But that's fine with me, right? If we can double up into the Yveltal, we can also potentially hit into. Okay, so we're gonna see no max. No max is interesting. Let's see what we're going to see here. We're going to see a Thunder Wave come out into the Venusaur, so probably calling a potential max, and we should see an Oblivion Wing. I would very much like to paralyze or to sleep powder this Venusaur. I mean, I would very much like to sleep this Yveltal. We are going to get fairly low. Let's just see if we can. Okay, we're going to get paralyzed. A little bit unfortunate. We're probably just going to trade our Venusaur for nothing. I'm going to go for a Sleep Powder again anyway, right? You might change it up and target into the Grimmsnarl, as we're going to see the max come out. So this is a little scary, but this is actually fine, right? You can't break through Grimmsnarl very easily, and we do have the ability just to drop your special attack a ton. And that should be really nice for us. Also, T-Wave makes Groudon a really solid option, right? And so we can just try and lower what this Grimmsnarl can do. We're probably going to get Spirit Break did. Okay, so we're not going to get Spirit Break did. We're going to get a Light Screen put up from them, which makes sense. We're going to see the Airstream come out into my Venusaur, so that's fine. I mean, Venusaur didn't do anything. It did waste a turn of my opponent's max, which is like a pretty fine trade if you ask me. We can bring out our Groudon, and we can actually go for a bulk up. I think a bulk up is totally fine here, right? We're not super pressured, especially behind a light screen and getting that Yveltal to -1 special attack. So, change of plan. We're not in the most ideal position anymore. I am going to Spirit Break here. I think I have to Quake into the Grimmsnarl. Okay, you're at +1. We have a light screen up. I would have very much liked to have gotten, you know, a nice little, I would have liked a nice little bulk up. But all things considered, yeah, bulk up would have actually been very, very nice. But it's fine. We're going to get a Quake boost. We're going to have to deal with a Reflect. We're going to get that Yveltal back down to neutral. And it's going to be fine. We're going to see, yep, the obvious Reflect coming out. The main issue right now, though, is when that Yveltal's max finishes, it does have access to Foul Play. So that's going to be annoying. We are going to see the light. Oh, that's a crit. That is a big crit. That is a very unfortunate critical hit. That has to be a critical hit. It was not a critical hit. That is a very strong Yveltal. We will get some good damage out onto this Grimmsnarl, right? Which is still really good considering the fact that we do we're going through a Reflect, as we will fire off a Spirit Break, just trying to get some good damage off. And so I think you're back down to neutral. We have one turn of max left. I'm gonna go for a Reflect, and I'm gonna go for a Quake onto this Grimmsnarl. You are going to be back down to neutral on the Yveltal, and so I think that this is probably our best option, right? Guaranteeing that we do at least get some kind of control, as we're going to see a swap out. This could be into Landorus. That would be very sad. It is going to be indeed into a Landorus, so that makes me very sad, but Landorus not really going to do much to Groudon. We should have had a nice bulk up boost, you know, that would have been really good for us, as we will set up a Reflect. Probably going to have to eat a Max Darkness. I'm guessing it's going to go into... Okay, so we're going to see an Airstream. Airstream is fine. Onto the Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl going to survive here. I don't know if I want that. I actually probably would have preferred a knockout here, as that, you know, gave me a free switch in into the Zacian. We're going to have Yveltal get real small. I'm going to go for a... Let's go for a Spirit Break. Let's Spirit Break onto the... Nope. Onto the Yveltal. Just because... Yeah, this is actually really awkward. I'm going to Rockfall onto the Landorus. We do have a Citrus Berry. I kind of wish we had leftovers, because then I could try and play a really slow, grindy kind of game. But now I'm kind of forced to play a little bit not how I would like. I mean, I could bulk up. I could still bulk up. We're going to see the Oblivion Wing go out into the Groudon. Most likely going to be an Earthquake coming out from this Landorus. Just trying to... Yeah, it's going to be an Earthquake. Pretty obvious there. Grimmsnarl not going to survive at 10 HP. Groudon taking it not as well as I would like. There's a nice little crit on Grimmsnarl. Critical hit on the Groudon too. So that's really reassuring to see that that's how much damage it did as a crit and as Life Orb. We're now going to fire off a big Rock Slot or a Rockfall onto this Landorus, doing a little bit of damage. I think I think we have to bulk up. I think the play here is to protect with okay, we have a reflect up. We have a reflect up. We can bring out Zacian. We can Behemoth Blade and bulk up. I think that's the play. I think we have to blade the Yveltal. No, blade the Landorus. Except that we're gonna take a hit and go for a bulk up on the Groudon. We do have to be very weary of a foul play, but given that we saw the weakness policy, I don't think that this is foul play Yveltal. So I'm gonna go for a Behemoth Blade onto the Landorus. And I'm going to go for a bulk up. I think that that is really sort of our best option. We do need a little bit more bulk onto this Groudon and go from there. We could see a switch out of the Landorus, right? Trying to recycle that Intimidate, which means that Groudon going for this boost is going to be really big. It also forces my opponent to reveal what their last is, as we're going to see the Heat Wave come out, unfortunately missing the wrong Pokemon. Zacian going to take that not super well. As the Earthquake going to come out as well. This should put Groudon into Citrus Berry range. Thank you, Zacian, for the survive. We really appreciate it. That's going to trigger my Citrus Berry. It's going to let me get some recovery and be in a position where we can protect with our Zacian the subsequent turn and go for a Heat Wave, or not a Heat Wave, a Rock Slide onto the Yveltal. Hope that it's enough for the knockout, which it should probably be at this point. The big question now is, what is my opponent going to switch out to? We're going to get a nice little bulk up, which I think is going to go a long way. We want to definitely go for, what's it called? A Rock Slide the subsequent turn. Huge shout out to Zacian for being a Steel type and not having to worry about that Sandstorm chip, because I really would not want to play a 1v3 right now. Grimmsnarl going to come out here. I think the play is to protect the Zacian and go for a Rock Slide. You probably want to try to T-Wave my Zacian, and I think that this puts us in the best position to deal with things. And so yeah, let's kind of see. We're gonna get the Protect off, and then let's see what's gonna happen here. The Oblivion Wing going to go into the Zacian, probably trying to finish it off, and then going for probably, I don't know what you're gonna go for, but that needed to do way more damage than it did. And there's the foul play coming out onto the Groudon. Okay, we need a double protect on the Zacian, followed by a Rock Slide that'll KO the Yveltal. We can then come on. So we don't get the double, which is fine, right? That's part of the game. Zacian, at least they're going to get no HP back on their Yveltal. The main issue, though, right, is Groudon is very low. If they have a Zacian in the back, Behemoth Blade should be enough to potentially get the... Oh, we missed something. I don't know what that... Okay, we missed two things. Yeah, so we cannot win at this point. Unfortunately... that double Rock Slide sealed the game for us, and we no longer have a light screen, so a little bit of an unfortunate way to go, right? Normally Groudon is known for missing Precipice Blades, but it is what it is. So overall, an unfortunate ending. We'll probably switch up teams tomorrow. Like I said, I want to use as many mythicals as possible, and the way we're going to get there is kind of grinding out some teams. So hopefully look forward to that. If you have some rentals you want me to check out, definitely post below. And with that, until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.